Myanmar's army is always there for citizens. We act according to the law and constitution of 2008.
Wai Wai is a human rights activist and founder of the Women's Peace Network, and she joins us now live from Washington, D.C. Good to see you. Can I just start with the protests that have been happening? They've been getting larger. They've gone on for the third day running. There's calls for a nationwide strike. Do you worry that the military could start to respond with more lethal force against those protests?
Yes, I do. And we all do, because military is a famous, Myanmar military is the famous for cracking down protesters in the history. And they have already issued 144 and several warnings against the public that they are going to take actions saying that who violates the laws. So we are very, very worried for the protesters and activists and young people in Myanmar.
What do you make of that TV address by General Aung trying to justify the military coup, saying that it had to take place because the November election results were so flawed?
This is expected. Since he has planned this coup for a long time, he will do everything to justify his coup and to normalize the situation. And this is another sign and another attempt that in this process of coup that he's been making, and false promises, false justifications for his unlawful and illegal military coup. And I think it is essential for us to respond to the coup as soon as possible so that we can stop him immediately. And protesters, public are protesting in Myanmar on the streets. Thousands of people all over the country has been showing their desire and their calls and demands against this military coup. At the same time, civil servants across the country are very defiant and strong to follow this civil disobedience movement. Many of them stop working stop going to the office and stop functioning or stop working. So the country is shaken now. He is terrified, and we need to act accordingly. We need to act like immediately to stop him right now. We are still hoping that this will work out. The protester will continue, and we need support.
I mean, he's talking about having a new election, but that clearly is going to be difficult when most of the opposition lawmakers, including Aung San Suu Kyi, are in prison. How would that even work?
So, we have to remember that in 1990s, when they had a general election, again, NLD party won landslide at that time, and they kind of put all these political leaders, including the Aung San Suu Kyi, under house arrest and never transfer the power to the winning party. And it took 20 years to have another elections in 2010. So this is something, it's similar pattern that we're seeing now. And all his promises are, these promises are fake. And we don't need another election at this point, and there is no credible evidence or proof that there was electoral voter fraud happened. So it's unnecessary, and it is again, false justifications and false promises that he is making for his illegal and unlawful act.
If the military does resort to lethal force, what can people do about that? Because this is a military that's shown it's not afraid of firing on its own people. Do you think the protests will continue? And what will it take to get the military to back down on this?
Yeah, I do think protesters will continue. And if we don't want to see a really, bloody crackdown or harm against people, we really need, international community really need to take a strong an immediate response against this military coup. And we can be done by imposing immediate targeted sanctions against military and military businesses, and reconvening UN Security Council sessions and adopting a stronger resolutions that include the global arms embargo, as well as a referral of the situations of Myanmar to the International Criminal Court. We have to remember that this is the very same military who committed genocide against Rohingya, crimes against humanity, against many other communities, and war crimes against ethnic populations. And the impunity that they have enjoyed emboldened them to carry out a coup. And I've been saying that, the military got away with the genocide, and they feel they can get away with a coup again. And we don't want another nightmare for the country anymore. We need immediate help and support.
Wai Wai, thank you very much indeed.